And here we are at Covert Reality. It is, what is it, April the 21st. It is about to be April the 22nd in another hour and a half. And we are at a point right now where North Korea is threatening all sorts of things, but you know, they've always been threatening. They've been given a green light through the Obama administration to just, you know, do whatever they want to detonate their missile capabilities and to, you know, and now game's on. But it actually kind of makes me feel like that's always just, you know, a part of the game plan to have an enemy. So we have just had to shut the amp off there. So we have North Korea, you know, having this threat. We don't know how serious it is, but it follows in way too well with when military or power structures falter and they get exposed, that the military themselves that need that war to profit, to carry on, have to come up with a new way to just wage war and to get that going again. And I just want to say, I made this Covert Reality episode. It's going to be a short one. This is a warning out to everybody. But you know, we're hoping nothing happens. But now, Operation Gotham Shield, you might want to Google that. You'll see what I'm talking about. In between April 18th and May 5th is an operation, but apparently between the 24th and 26th, some things could happen. May 5th, something can happen. Anything can happen. Because during Department of Defense and Department of Homeland Security operations, a lot of them take place when actual real live events are taking place at the same time. And it's really interesting how that happens a lot when you look back at false flag operations or 9/11. 9/11, the same operation to ward off the same type of terrorist attack was going on down in California. Or in around that area, and maybe it was in Florida. I'm not quite sure. I should probably be more accurate on that, but there wasn't a simulated operation that had to do with taking down, you know, possible airplanes going into buildings, but they were doing that down south instead of up in New York. So it's really interesting where we're at now. So now we have threats of nuclear war. And nuclear exercises going on at the Canadian border, small detonations, and New Jersey and New York, big operations going on. And this is Operation Gotham Shield. So like I said, Google that, check it out. You may want to be prepared in case the power does go out, to have a backup plan, because that's going to be the test of everything. When the power goes out, that will test everybody. Especially if the nuclear facilities go down and we're all going to be quarantined. And I'm just trying to say this: Southern Ontario doesn't look too good right now, as far as what situation everything's in. Like, we have an Ontario Hydro Commission that's in a lot of deep water right now, and they're trying to act friendly and do great things for the public right now, because that's the only chance they have. At the same time, just, NASA's being called out, false flags being called out, the Syrian refugee flux is being called out. At the same time, Canada's still bringing them in. I don't mean them as trying to paint everyone as the same person. We do know that infiltration happens. It's a bought and paid for tactic from the Tides Foundation and other foundations that the G20 G20 leaders there like to fund operations that demonize journalists and people that are exposing these operations or these plans for a global government or whatever it is, or North American Union, or maybe the spraying of the planet, or vaccines, or GMOs. All these different things are going on right now for reasons that I can begin to understand, because the military just seems to, hoard all of the technology and then sell it off to try to make their way. And then when they kind of run out of options and they run out of, when they come under scrutiny, bang, a big war takes place, because then it just takes everyone's mind off of it. That's written in Canadian Army strategy books too, in their plans too. When the public wakes up, they have an event they do, and it's written in other publications that you might want to check out. Canadian deployment of what was that document called? That you just might want to check out a lot of different things going on in our airspace in Canada, and the way they're preparing for a lot of interesting geoengineering operations to go full scale now. But we got David Keith and them underneath a lot of pressure too. The geoengineering thing is wide out in the open. They're supposedly starting that, coming out in the open with that now, and luckily there are letters sent to David Keith letting him know that we are well aware and watching what he's doing. He's an evil man exploiting, spraying our planet, but pretending it hasn't happened yet. I'm glad other people out there are sending letters to him explaining their disgust in what he's doing. And some have even gotten a reply, so that's really great too. But this episode here is all about just kind of, right now, Covert Reality is in a little bit of a, it hasn't wilted away. We're still here and, trying to keep things going. At the same time, we were just at a radio station on FM, and now we're just kind of doing it independently. And we'll be on the streets doing some asking the public soon about what they think of carbon tax and climate change. So you might want to maybe I'll post that to when we're going to do that. Sometimes I don't like to post stuff about when we're going to do stuff, because it's nice to be sporadic, and then you get less agents showing up, infiltrating your event, or just standing there, sitting there, watching what you're doing, listening to your plans, whatever you have going on. So I sometimes will not post it based on those reasons. But so we got some great people out there that care about the planet, and locally here in Waterloo, we've been working with we have been working with a lot of different people, but I guess recently an activist and a very talented individual, Vanessa Gale, and I will be asking the public, what they think of climate change, what they think of carbon tax, and, hoping to get, be as non-biased as possible, but to also educate them on what is going on with David Keith and what he is proposing, and to, just to test out the people, see if they actually know we're being sprayed. Hopefully a lot of people will come right out and say, well, yeah, it's a fraud. Hopefully they will come out and say it's a fraud. There will be a sign that says, what do you think of climate change? And on the other side says, what do you think of carbon tax? And it'll leave the public open to just come up and share their opinion with Vanessa and I on what they think of this whole climate change carbon tax thing. So, we're hoping to do that soon, and feel free to come up and say what you feel, because we're hoping that most people will understand that we are being sprayed, and that's causing a lot of the intensities. But also we want to find out what other people feel that climate change is for real, and that carbon tax should come into play. Just kind of nice to see what percentage of people are aware and who is not. So I want to thank Vanessa for helping in that way around here, because that's exactly what needs to happen. There's a lot of different technologies out there that are aiming and targeting people with the 5G technology. That's helping to target people even more with cell towers. Now, I picture this sometimes when I think about it. There are many different cell towers everywhere. And I remember about 11 years ago, 2006, I left Ontario, went up through Manitoulin Island. And Manitoulin Island was totally like Newfoundland. It was like just really laid back and untouched and unhoarded, and just really great and clean and pristine and nice, and when you go there and you use the land, you clean it when you leave and respect it. And it's not really owned by a lot of bureaucracy. And you wonder, like when you're in Manitoulin Island, you're like, wow, is this in Ontario? It's incredible. What the heck is this, But so it goes to show that in Manitoulin Island, it had no cell towers whatsoever there at the time. But I can still get online there. No problem, right? So it's interesting how now this whole thing about cell towers are supposedly there to help us with our internet, and I hope most of the population understands what's going on by now. And we have to fight back at this. In the meantime, we have to keep up on par with what's going on under the scenes. So this Operation Gotham Shield is the reason why I want to do another Covert Reality episode. And that's when I do these episodes, is when I feel like there needs to be something said. I'm not trying to make money. I'm not trying to, even though it would be nice to raise a little bit of money for billboards, I'm not trying to make money with these announcements. I'm just trying to find a vessel to speak my thoughts and my heart. And so I want to thank everyone out there for helping to make this world a better place. And if you want to check out Operation Gotham Shield, it's a detonation operation to mimic a nuclear disaster in New Jersey, New York, and Canadian border of New York and Canadian border here, which is sanctuary cities of Hamilton and Toronto, which are right where we are. So I'm not feeling too comfortable right now. I do have places where I know where I can go. At the same time, I feel like we all have to have a little bit of a backup plan right now as these days come on. We're already game on as far as Operation Gotham Shield is concerned, because like I said at the beginning, April 18th to May 5th is the official date of when it happens. Now people are speculating 23rd to 24th for some reason, and so that's in a couple of days. This is the 21st in the evening, so tomorrow will be the 22nd. Next day will be the 23rd and the 24th. So I'm just putting out this announcement now to possibly maybe get your water and your backup plan and your extra food. If the power goes out, you may want to be self-sufficient. If a truck comes by and that's telling you that you have to evacuate, I'd probably just stay and find a good spot to just stay within your home and not follow any sort of truck to some FEMA camp. I don't want to start talking like that to be fear-mongering here, but we are in a real situation here. With Hillary Clinton losing the election, we would have went straight to Russia, having war with Russia. So thankfully, Trump was in there to avoid that and to stop the Syrian flux. It was good that the air base in Syria was hit. I am glad about that. I got to be honest with you. We're at threat here of having their plan to take over Western civilization is at hand here. So anything to stop that or to show, look, we're not going to take anymore. If that's what you're doing, if that's what your plan is to take us over, sorry, we need to be relentless. So I'm glad that that things are a little juggernauted right now, because the major media and all the high players in finance are all red-faced and running scared, trying to make up stories about the people really making an effect on changing this into a better, fairer world. So I just want to thank everyone for keeping us all in good, confident manner and shape here and during these hard times. And remember, our brothers and sisters are always around us. People that care are out there. So if you have any questions at all, please find me on Facebook. My name is Chad Casarin, Casarin, and you can find me there, or check out Covert Reality on Facebook. I do have a website I'm working on right now. It will be active and live soon, and I will be probably forwarding most of my stuff to that website and avoiding Facebook at all costs. I will still be doing some updates on Facebook for Covert Reality, but not as much as the actual website. Anyway, so this is another episode of Covert Reality, and we will see you again next time.